Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're discussing the Nomos Metro Datum Gangreserve. This is a watch that you can see and purchase on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this and our entire Nomos inventory, with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and full pricing details for this and every Nomos watch that we have in our collection. Now, Nomos Glashutte debuted the Metro Datum Gangreserve in Baselworld 2014. Now, it was subsequently amended to remove the power reserve and increase the case size from this watch's 37 to a little over 38 millimeters, so take note, this is the original, quirkier, and in my opinion, more distinctive and desirable model. Now you can see it is slim. The timepiece is only 8.2 millimeters thick, though you can see that gorgeous domed sapphire that emulates the distortion of a vintage plexiglass. I really appreciate the small touches in Nomos design, and that's emblematic of the attention to detail that goes into this watch. It has outsized personality despite a lug-to-lug span of barely 44 millimeters. 37 millimeters across the case does not include the crown. This watch wears like a second skin, disappearing on the wrist. The wire lugs are wonderfully minimal as well as highly attractive and distinctive. And the strap, as has often been the custom from Nomos, is a shell cordovan, so it is basically horse, very supple on the underside, and seamless without pores or any kind of defining or defective mark as you'll find on a traditional natural grain calf skin. It's quite striking and beautiful. With folded edge and a monotone stitch, it's paired with a simple, polished Nomos pin buckle for classical low profile and dress watch elegance. The case is minimalist. As you can see, it's almost a seamless case as there's no distinct bezel structure joining with the case band, and you can just barely see the seam of the case back. Now, don't be fooled by the wire lugs. This is not the Panerai 3646 of the war years. You don't have to cut the strap off. Hidden underneath the strap and just inboard of the lugs are quick release triggers, so you can easily take it off with strap changing tools. Now, the watch is all dial. If you've got a 37mm men's watch, you would better expand the dial to make it as large and legible as possible, and Nomos has done that. Now, it is a matte silver dial base with what Nomos refers to as mint indices at 9, 3, and 12. All the rest of the calibrations are a matte black. You'll see there is a sunken sub-register for seconds with a red hand, and a nicely faceted date window at 6 o'clock, and the facets break up the transition from the plane of the dial to the plane of the disc, making it less sheer. There's a beautifully rounded off aperture surrounding the power reserve, and it is a stacked power reserve. I'm going to show you how it works as you energize the watch up to its maximum rated autonomy of 42 hours fully wound. As you can see, there are two separate discs in action on the power reserve scale. Now, the watch features a unique handset that Nomos describes as blackened, but for which it offers no more elaboration. There should be a name for this style of hand. For now, I'm going to call it the Nomos stacked hand, and perhaps we can call it the Nomos stacked index. I'm not sure, but it's a beautiful blend of the thin, almost hairline of the final indicator and the thicker, broader, almost baton-style root. Handsome and inventive. Like everything on this watch, it was self-consciously styled. The watch was actually designed in Berlin, as so many Nomos watches are, by a gentleman named Mark Braun, who is a noted industrial designer. And you can see on the case back, there's an attempt to bridge the gap between the size of the watch and the size of the caliber. Now, it is a Nomos DUW 4401, so it's Nomos' in-house caliber with Nomos' in-house hairspring and escapement combination known as the swing system. It's impressive to be able to make your own Swiss lever, and that's effectively what Nomos has done. It is not highly unconventional in architecture. What's highly unconventional is that a company outside of the Swatch Group, Rolex, Seiko, and a handful of specialists has managed to create a full escapement hairspring and balance. Now, you'll note the crown wheel and the ratchet wheel are among the few truly hand-finished components of the movement. There's actually a gentleman who does this work over and over and over again, and those wheels are hand-finished to create that unique double spiral pattern. There are Glashutte ribs across the movement. As you can see, we are in Saxony. We're not going to call them Côte de Genève, and true heat-blued screws. They are kiln-fired, they are oxidized, they are not chemically dyed. It's a beautiful caliber, hand-wound, a pleasure to wind, and with the date, the power reserve, hacking seconds function, it has deluxe appointments for such a outwardly simple movement. I will mention one thing, it does have a bit of a vintage quick setting function in that you have to roll it through the date change at midnight, then roll it back to 9 p.m. and through the date change again to advance the date. It wouldn't be a Nomos if it weren't quirky in every respect, but it's also reliable. It's also something of a design standard and latter-day icon. You can wear this latter-day icon on our website.